Thank you for honoring our fallen heroes, many of them that are from Massena. When you drive by Calvary today, you can see the flags by their headstones. And I'm really pleased to see that they're honored and remembered. My message to you was also to say thank you for your service, because you may not realize it. If service is the measure, no kidding, of how we honor our fallen, this community gets an A+. You are over the top, and if you look at the folks here, and you can talk about first responders and community service and teachers and coaches, this community is involved everywhere. Just a good neighbor digging out a neighbor after a really monster snowstorm, which we do a lot here, talks about service and how awesome you are as a community. So let me just say thank you. You may not realize how deep and how much you affect. And what I wanted to do today was to tell you, to give one example, and I am going to talk about it because it's worth your time. It's about a kid who you set the example for, who grew up here, graduated from here. Now, I first met him when he was a high school student, and I got to tell you something, he was just born with service in his blood. He got into the Air Force, he became a pilot, which was amazing, through determination and just sheer will. And when I caught up with him, I learned that he'd taken on one of the toughest assignments in the Air Force. It was as a liaison officer on the ground with our ground forces. And the reason that's so tough is because they go with their ground forces to ensure they can bring air power when we're in contact with the enemy. And so you can't be back in the rear with the headquarters guys. If you're doing it right, you're forward with the guys in the fight every minute. And this kid from Massena did it right. He was forward every time. He took the most dangerous missions on himself, and he got it done. We put a bronze star on the chest of a kid from Massena because of everything he did on the battlefield. When we got him back to fly, it was amazing. I actually had the opportunity to fly with him in the same unit. Two kids from Massena flying together. What are the odds? We should have gone out to the casino and gone gambling together. Looking good. Unfortunately, my phone rang in the evening of July 2008. We lost a B-52 off the coast of Guam in a crash, and we lost her entire crew. And with her, we lost Major Christopher Cooper, Massena Central High School, 92, Bronze Star winner, American hero. And I tell you what, as I thought back about Chris, as we laid him to rest in Arlington in Section 60, we called him Fireball because he was so full of energy and just so dynamic. When I thought about Fireball, what I thought about him was how he took the example that all of you gave him. And I don't know how many soldiers and Marines' lives he saved, but I know it was a lot. I don't know how many people he positively influenced, but I know that was also a bunch of folks. And ladies and gentlemen, you get a lot of the credit, because he just didn't wake up one day with that sense of selfless service. He got it from you, from a lot of you. So I credit you with some of the awesome things that great American hero did. Now tomorrow I've got to go back to work, and when I do I owe 2 reports. I drive to work in the morning, I come into DC, I'll go over the hill. The first thing I see is the Air Force Memorial, 3 spires reaching up to the skies, and I'll think about Chris and his crew that we lost that day in July of 2008. I'll drive down the Highway of Heroes, past the side of the Pentagon that got hit on 9/11, and I'll think about we need to be vigilant for those that would do us harm. And then as I turn into parking, I'll look to my left, and that's Arlington. My first report to Arlington will be something like this. My brothers and sisters that have fallen and gone before, I've got good news. You're remembered and you're honored. You can rest easy. I was with great Americans who kept your sacrifice at the forefront. Then my second report, I'll turn towards Section 60 in Arlington, for those of you who know it, where Chris and his crew is buried. And I'll say, hey, Fireball, I got even better news for you. Not only were you honored and remembered in your hometown yesterday by great Americans, they've kept the faith. The service, the selfless service that you and I remember growing up, that was such an example to you, is still alive and well in Massena, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for everything you do, the selfless service, you have no idea where the impact goes, but I can tell you it's deep and wide. Thank you for continuing to do that. And thank you for the honor of being here with you today. And I appreciate you letting me yell at you, and I'm sorry about that. But God bless you. Thank you.